everyone, it's Monica, and welcome back to Tailor-Made Cards for You. So I'm here today to share with you the Tonic Craft Kit number 20, and this is the Woodland Walk kit. And this kit is perfect for masculine cards. I want to go ahead and show you some of the things that we got in this kit, and some of these are actually exclusive. So the die sets that we got this month are the Dragonfly Box Die Set, and there's 14 dies that goes with this. And then there's also an exclusive Dragonfly Box Stamp Set, and there were 6 stamps with those. Now, even though it's a box die, there's so many things that you can do with this die set. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you one card today that I created using some of this paper pad that I got, along with a couple of the dies in the die set. Now, within the kit, we got this jute baker's twine, and then we also got some sequins. Now, for you mixed media lovers, we got some really cool shimmer powder called Falling Leaves, and a mini mica mist called Wild Olive. Now, the crystal drops that we got this month are the Dirty Bronze, and then we also got Caramel Latte. Now, the paper this month, like I said, is perfect for your masculine cards, and I'm going to try to use several of these pieces today. So to begin, I wanted to share with you one of the cards that is not really my style, but I wanted to try out some of these dies. A lot of times with kits, I'm on the fence because I have a particular style, and you know that I like to kind of go vintage or somewhat grungy. And sometimes when you're getting a kit, you're not always sure what you're going to get. But I definitely wanted to go ahead and try out some of these dies because even though I may not use them traditionally like a lot of other crafters are using, I can certainly use some of these within my mixed media projects as well. Now, the one thing I have to say that I love about these kits is I'm able to use some of these die cuts with my sidekick. And my sidekick I can just keep right on my desk next to me, so I can easily just grab it and use it with some of my dies. Now, if you remember last month, we got this adhesive pen, and it worked really well with these dies. These dies are so intricate, and some of the edges are pretty thin, so I just pulled out this glue pen and I was able to use it for the adhesive on this really intricate die. Now, these little square dies work perfectly to decorate the Dragonfly box, but I didn't use it on the box. I actually created a card, and I really wanted to see what design I could come up with. There's so many videos out there right now for the actual Dragonfly box that I didn't necessarily want to create that. I probably will, but not necessarily on a video because there's so many out there right now. I really wanted to see what I could come up with the actual dies and some of this really pretty cardstock that we got. Now, while these colors really make a great masculine card, I really wanted to see if I could do a more feminine card as well. And while you don't necessarily have to use just the paper that you got in your kit, I wanted to see how far I can make this kit go for me. So I'm going to go ahead and just use some of the product that I got in the kit to create this first card. And then when I go to create my second card, I'll be pulling in some of my own personal products. Now, with the kit this month, we were somewhat limited with the sentiments, but one of the stamped sentiments that we got did say love, and that's the sentiment that I decided to use for this particular card. So as you can see, the cardstock coordinates beautifully, and I'm using a piece out of the 6x6 paper pack called the Woodland Walk, as well as the mirror card Flourishing Green. And as you can see, they really look nice together. I'm also using the Pearlescent card stock called Fresh Mint. So as you can see, this is a really simple design. All I'm doing is I'm just adhering these square pieces to both sides of the card, and then I'm also adding the heart. Now, the heart is a die cut, and it has this little hole where you can put your brad through, but I wanted to show you a little trick if you didn't actually have brads. Now, like I said, one of the items that we got within the kit was some of the crystal drops. And I'm going to use the Caramel Latte to create just a little fake brad by just putting a little drop where the hole is. And because of the color, it really looks like a brad. But before I did that, because I wanted that to be the last thing I did when I adhered it to my white cardstock, I wanted to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. And like I said, the sentiment that I decided to use was the word love. Now, like I said, we didn't get too many sentiments within this kit, but some of the other stamps that we got were some bugs. And we ended up getting a dragonfly stamp as well as a ladybug stamp. And then we also got the coordinating dies so we can easily cut those out. All right, so I am using my Tim Holtz stamping platform to go ahead and stamp my word love. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere my cardstock onto my white cardstock. And then I'll add those crystal drops that I was talking about. Okay, so within the kit, like I said, we also did get some sequins. And typically I'm not a big sequins girl, but I wanted to go ahead and add some of the sequins to the card since they did come in the kit. So I'm using just my regular glue that I got from Tonic Studios as well. And this is the clear drying craft glue, which is the deluxe adhesive. And I really like this glue a lot. It has a really great point and it works great to add my sequins. And it also gave me an opportunity to use a new tool that I got, which is this little jewel picker-upper. And it has some adhesive at the end, so you can easily pick up sequins or any small objects. And then you just have to use your poker or any type of poking element that you have to release it from the adhesive part of the tool. So it worked really well. All right, so as you saw, this card really went together pretty easily, but I also wanted to create more of a mixed media card because that typically is more of my style. And what I'm going to be working with next is that shimmer powder, which is called Falling Leaves. So if you've used shimmer powder before, you really just have to shake it out. And as you saw, I got a little aggressive with my powder and I squeezed the bottle and it kind of squirted out, but I wasn't going to let that go to waste. So I just kind of gathered it up with my white cardstock. And I am using a heavy cardstock because I am working with some water. And then I spritzed my media mat, and then I just took my cardstock and I just dipped it in. This is kind of the same technique that we do with our distress inks or our distress oxides, where you just put the ink on your craft mat, you spritz it, and then you can add your cardstock. And that's the same technique, like I said, for the shimmer powder. So if you do end up getting any of that powder on your media mat, don't let it go to waste. Just spritz it up, and then you can get some cardstock and get it all onto your nice white cardstock. And as you can see, it creates a really great background. Now, another way that I like to use some of this shimmer powder is when you're working with some texture paste. And I really love the way that you're able to get some of that shimmer powder within the crevices and the cracks when you are working with the stencil. So I just pulled out one of my stencils, and this is a really great one because it's a pretty distinct pattern, and the powder will just flow really nicely in between the squares. So the texture paste that I'm using is an opaque crackle, and when you dry it up, it is going to have a really nice crackle effect, and I love how it looks. So I got it on my paper, and then I am just drying it up using my heating tool. And then once it's dry enough, I'm going to go ahead and add some of that shimmer powder, and then I'm going to spritz it up. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can use the shimmer powder. I am using it with my water, but you could easily add it and then add somewhat of a paste to move it around. But like I said, I wanted the powder to kind of seep through those cracks and those crevices, and that's why I decided to go with the water, because I can spritz it up and then just kind of pick up my cardstock and move it around. And as you see, I like to have a little rag next to me, so that way if I get too much water when I'm drying it, or if it puddles up, I can just easily pick it up with one of my rags. All right, so now I have three really nice backgrounds that I can work with, and we're going to go ahead and put together a couple of cards. Now, some of the specialty paper that we got within this kit is yellow bamboo, and it's an oak wood grain as well, and that's what I really wanted to work with, and these are going to be more of a masculine card. So I went ahead and trimmed down my white cardstock because I am going to make a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card. So I wanted to leave about 1/4 of an inch to be able to mat this paper onto some of that green cardstock as well. And typically when I am layering my paper or my cardstock, my rule of thumb is just 1/4 of an inch. So if I'm making a A2 card, which is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, then my first layer will be 1/4 of an inch smaller on all sides. And then if I layer it again, of course, it'll be 1/4 of an inch smaller with that. And that's how I will figure out my layers. All right, so once I have my paper trimmed up, it was time to come up with a design. And I had this really fun washi tape that I have been dying to use, and it has some fish. And I thought it would go perfect with this green cardstock theme. And then I had to think about what kind of a stamp or what kind of an image would I work with. And the only thing that kept coming to mind was a digital set that I created. And this is going to be for my Father's Day passport kit. But I'm going to go ahead and give you a sneak peek of this. And I probably will end up putting it in the shop for you as well. So if you do want to use some of these fish images for some masculine Father's Day cards, you'll go ahead and have links to those on this video as well. Okay, so once I had that white cardstock matted onto the green cardstock, I went ahead and I added that fish washi tape that I was talking about. And this washi tape I think I got when I was in California traveling for my job. And I think I got it for like 99 cents. And unfortunately, it really does show. I hate when you pull washi tape apart and it just tears halfway in the middle. So I struggled a little bit with this washi tape until I finally got a piece which was completely intact and I was able to use it on my card. All right, so like I said, I am going to go ahead and put together a kind of like a Father's Day card, and it's a gone fishing kind of a theme. And this little wood gone fishing sign is a sign that I created for one of my kits. And like I said, I'll link all the products that I've used to create the cards below. So you'll have links to not only the kit, but some of these other items that I'm using as well. So I went ahead and I used some foam tape to just pop it up just a bit. And then I'm going to use one of my paper dolls from the Tim Holtz Ideology collection to put him right next to that sign. So it looks like he's just kind of kicking back on this fishing sign to let everybody know he's going to be going fishing. All right, and then for the second card, I am going to go ahead and use a strip of that specialty paper, which is the oak wood grain. And I just simply cut a strip of that, added it to the background that we created earlier, and I adhered that bait and tackle sold here image. So I'll leave a list of all the products that I've used to create the card along with the links to the stores. As I indicated, most of these products are from the Tonic Studios Woodland Walk kit, but I did use some other images as well that I'll link below. There's some other great products that I just didn't have a chance to use in this kit, but I'm hoping to get another video up before the end of the month to share with you some of these other items in the kit and give you some inspiration. All right, everybody, thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll see you again next time.